Hey guys, what's up? It's Dylan from Fish For You here, back with another video. This one was requested off of Facebook, so we're gonna go ahead and do it, but breeding Corydoras. If you haven't seen the title already, now you know. This is 55 behind me. It's doing good. Everything's growing out, as you can see. I'll flip the camera here around in a second. But everything's growing out. You can see the fish are loving it in there. We have celestial pearl danios, some harlequin rasbora, and some gingaruber guppies, as well as I think there's one hatchet fish in there still, and possibly some plecos, longfin green dragon plecos in there. Alright guys, let's get into the video. First couple things you're going to need to do, prerequisites, let's say. You're going to need to make sure that they are breeding age. So like these guys here, definitely not breeding age. They might look big, but look at him compared to this snail. He's what, maybe an inch, 2 inch? You need to have them for like 6 to 12 months first. Start feeding them heavily. Black worms, bloodworms, baby brine shrimp, adult brine shrimp, things along those lines. Do some water changes after they're, of age and you start to feed them heavily. Do some water changes. Once you have the water changes going, make sure you time them with a storm and make sure that the water changes are cold water, about 5 to 6 degrees Fahrenheit colder than the tank you want to drop it. If that stuff does not work, try adding a few more Corydoras to make sure that you have enough males to females. Keep in mind you want more males than females if possible, 2 to 1 ratio. If you have a heater in the tank, try removing it. If you don't have one, try adding a heater, or try turning the temperature up a little bit higher if you need to. Add some extra flow to the tank. If you need to put a power head in it or a hang on back filter, or if you just want to get a larger pump for your sponge filter, it doesn't matter. Now in this clip right here, you're going to see some Corydoras breeding. This is my favorite clip I have, but the larger female is being attacked by the males. They're trying to figure out who the dad's going to be. You can see he won, and now she's about to lay him on the glass right there. So you can see how they do it. They pinch it in between their fins and then they lay it on the glass. They might lay it on the plants or anywhere in the tank, so make sure you're looking out, usually in where the flow is, so keep an eye in that area. If you've done everything correctly, your Corydoras should be spawning and you should be seeing this behavior on screen. We're going to take a moment to do a brief intermission, guys. Did you know that from the last video, only 1.5% of the viewers were actually subscribed? Pop it up right there. For real. Go ahead and click that subscribe button, guys. Alright, back at it. Once the eggs are hatched, we're going to take these containers and we're going to pick the eggs off. They're very durable. We're going to go ahead and put them in these containers with some methylene blue. After about 3 to 10 days, depending on the temperature, you're going to see some fry starting to hatch out of the eggs like this. So these fry are still just a few hours old. You can see that right at the base of their tail, they do have a yolk sac attached to their body. So it's going to take about 2 days to absorb that. We're not going to feed them for the first 2 days. After that, we're going to start feeding them baby brine shrimp. They should eat it right away. Their mouths are going to widen and their bodies are going to slim down, allowing them to eat that baby brine shrimp. That's going to be the cue for us. But these guys have just been alive for a few hours. Once again, here's the fry. You can see the yolk sac. They've just been alive for a few hours. This is the fry 2 days later. You can see their yolk sacs have disappeared. They've gained a little bit more color and their mouths have widened. There is one fry you'll see in the middle of your screen now. He might not make it. We're going to leave him and come back to that later. When we do feed them, we're going to start feeding them baby brine shrimp now. We're going to go ahead and just scatter it all over the tank, making sure not to overfeed, but we do want to make sure that everyone gets food and no one's left out. It's the next day now, and we're gonna go ahead and add some Java moss to give the fry a place to hide and help them feel more comfortable. You can actually see the baby brine shrimp there next to them, and you can see how it would be very easy for them to consume it. They are tiny, but so is the baby brine shrimp. These guys are gonna take it down right away, don't worry about that. This is a week later. The Corys are definitely getting bigger. You can see there's a bunch of baby brine shrimp, and it's definitely time to do a water change. But you can see their bellies are full and pink with baby brine shrimp. That's a good sign. That means that they've been eating. If you see that the Corys haven't been developing that pink in their bellies, then go ahead and try feeding them some more. At this point, the Corys are 3 weeks old, and they look like mini versions of their parents. Just rinse and repeat. Keep doing what you've been doing, feeding them 2-3 times a day, and eventually they'll be big enough to add into the grow-out tank with the rest of the family. At this point, these Corydoras are 3 months old, possibly 3.5 months old, but you can see that they're pretty big. They're not breeding age yet. Still another 6 to 9 months for that. However, they're happy, they're healthy, they're in a 40-gallon. They're going to grow fast from here. It's pretty much just feed them flake and feed them whatever else you want, and they're going to grow.
Now you guys know how to breed the Corydoras. All right, all of them are slightly different, so if one thing doesn't work, go ahead and try another. However, if you have any more questions, go ahead and message me on Facebook at Fish For You, or go ahead and just send a comment. We'll respond to you. Other than that, see you guys next time.
I'm a flop like a fish. I'm a flop like a fish. Flop on fish. Go ahead and flop